Mm. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. I'm gonna close this door. Sister Deborah, coming this evening with a message. And this more so a message just to talk about what do you actually think that's going on today? What would you say that is going on today? I'd like to hear from you. Me, myself, I see from the spiritual realm as well as the natural realm. And being so, I can see both realms. All of it is more than a handful. But I'd like to know, what do you think that's going on today? Even if it's in your very own life, what would you say that's actually taking place? This really going on in this right round about now. Okay. Um, Again, being able to not just only see it in the spirit realm and see it in the natural, have somewhat of a really good understanding regarding the both. And when it's all said and done, the great understanding is that you can't change neither nor. You can't change the realm of the spirit, the things that's actually going on. And guess what, you guys? You can't even change the things of the natural. So whether you see it in the natural or whether you see it in the spirit, neither nor can you do anything about it regarding what we actually can see or understand that's actually going on. So that's what we're going to talk about this evening. Just opening up and really kind of putting it out there. What do you actually feel? What do you actually see? What do you actually understand that's taking place? And again, it could be your workplace, it can be in your community, it can be in your family, it can be in your neighborhood, it can be around your friends, or even the place in which you worship. What would you actually, what can you actually say that you think that's going on in this day that we are in? Sister Deborah talked a whole lot about what she sees and how she deals with it and how she embraces it and how she um, don't accept and accept. But the main thing for me is not just only seeing these things on both ends, but really fully trying to understand that it's a situation that is no one, not you nor I, can change it. And you know what? We are in a day in which the Most High Yah is not going to change it out of the order in which He has orchestrated it to be in this day. So it's nothing wrong with us just talking about the topic itself. What really, what was it? Could you say that's actually going on this day? In this day, what can we actually say that's going on? And you know what? The truth of the whole matter is when you're able to say it to where someone else can be healed by it. Because there are individuals who's actually dealing with things within, and they are more so frightened or afraid to just speak it out But that's where the healing and the deliverance come, no matter what it is. Many people hold things in, many people hide the things within, even their very thoughts. They hide their thoughts, their feelings, their understanding, their wisdom, their knowledge. And the Father has poured out in them these things in the spirit, but they tend to hold back because they feel so by themselves. They don't think that it is legit within them, because no matter where they go, they can't seem to just get settled and really just rest in what they have embedded in them, the tools in which the Most High has given you in your spirit. You tend to try to make it make sense because everywhere you go, you see different, you feel different. Not only that, you understand different. That's the battle. See, a lot of y'all think it's a battle of the flesh. No, it's still what he said. It's the battle of the spirit. It's the unseen that get us tied up, because we can't see this, what we feel and what we understand. And you have this Holy Spirit talking to you, dealing with you, telling you these things, showing you these things, revealing things to you, and you're like, well, where's everybody at? Wait a minute, Father, you telling me all this and you speaking to me. Well, where's everybody at? And you tend to try to look for the ones that can understand what the Spirit is giving you, so you can have someone that you can balance with, But it's so hard because the gate is narrow, and it's not your fault, because the way heavens had orchestrated, which is the Father, and that is that the gate is narrow. And it's so narrow to very few shall find it. So it's a place that you will find it as long as the Holy Spirit is in you. He will. It's no way he's not going to allow you to find that narrow gate. But that's what we battle with. We battle with what all that he has invested in us. And he has given us tools, y'all. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I know for a fact, since I was a little girl, I have had tools. I have always been an individual, even as a young child, that was able to master things. I could do something and they say, well, where you get that from? Where you learned that? Who taught you that? Where you see that? All my living. It's because those are the things that y'all allow me to have while being on this journey in which he sent me. And that's a lot of you all out there. It's the same way, but you sit back and you see all the things that you're capable of doing, and even your thoughts and how you're capable of breaking things down, and you're capable of making things make sense. You see, you're capable of having a better eyesight and a better earsight than anybody around you. And then you begin to wonder, wait a minute, is it something wrong with me? Wait a minute, who am I? You tend to question who you are, because all those gifts in this day, y'all, is going to keep it within you, bringing it out of you in such a time as this. Just so you yourself can know that you are not like everybody. The only thing that you are alike unto is that you are flesh and they are flesh. You sin, they sin, but your sin feels different in you, because when you have the Holy Spirit in you, you can kind of feel conviction. You can kind of feel your sin and your iniquity. It even causes you to repent sometimes for things you don't know, you ain't even done wrong. But because something is so greater in you, and it got you to the point where you find yourself repenting to the Father for something you don't even know why. You just feel it's wrong. You just think it's wrong. But because of what's greater in you that gives you that freedom to own the fact that it's okay. This is the way I'm feeling this thing. This is the way I'm thinking this thing. And then you begin to repent, and it's really no need for it. But because you got something in you so great, it ain't that easy to not, identify with the great one that's in you. And a lot of people, they don't want to talk about that in this day and time. They don't want to talk about this great one in us. And that's what something else today we can talk about, because the one that's so great in us, you notice, I'm going to tell y'all, listen to what I'm saying now. That great one that's in you, you notice nobody give him praise. No one gives him glory. No one gives him honor. No one exalt him. And what do you mean, Deborah? I believe I'm the only one that can actually say that I'm not ashamed of he that is in me. And that's what Paul said. I'm not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of Yah. Because watch what I'm getting ready to say. It's going to make sense. People don't express that power of the Holy Spirit in them. They don't even want to talk about it. They don't want to expound on it. They don't want to teach about it. They don't want to preach about it. You know why? 99.9 don't have no reason to, because he's not in them. But when he's in you, 7 years, it's not a time or a day that I have gotten on the devil platform and not talked about that one that's in me. I'm always talking about he that's in me and how great he is, how excellent he is. I'm always talking about mainly him and his power. And I always tell you he's in me without giving me the glory, without making it about me. I always tell y'all that he's in me. And he teaches me this. He speaks to me this way. He tells me this. Oh, when I get in the water, when I'm around the water, he doing this. He doing this. Always telling you and identifying him in me. Same way Yeshua did, which the world called Jesus. He did the identical thing. He always was expressing he that was greater than him. He always expressed the Father being with him, to the point where they didn't like the idea. He said, we are one. When you see me, you see the Father. See, they were so embedded in the way they saw things and they thought things and they understood things and they embraced things, to where they didn't want him to say that. You see how powerful it is for you to get on this devil platform and talk about he that's greater in you? He abide in you and you abide in him, and y'all are one, because that spirit he blew in you is a spirit where he abide in. Now, his whole self, his spirit, his word, and it's a power reside in your spirit. But you don't hear nobody preaching it. You don't hear nobody on this devil platform talking about it. And people don't want to talk about that because it gives him too much glory. It gives him too much honor. It exalts him, and nobody don't want that. So they want the things being spoken to them that exalt them, that magnify them, that make them to make their itchy ears get soothed, to try to get something to match, to battle somebody else. This is all crazy, but that's how they take it. So when you begin to tell people about how here he is greater in you, and then you telling him what he's teaching you, he's showing you, he said this and he said this. It's times I can be sitting here talking to y'all. I say, okay, Father, I get it. Okay, okay, Father. Why? I'm telling you, he's in me. And this is what he's capable of doing in me and bringing things out of me. And this is what people don't want to hear in the day I'm talking about. What would we say that's going on with that? What would you say that's actually taking place with that? What is that saying? It's saying a lot of things. Because if we're going to talk about the power, then we have stepping if we're going to talk about the power and not talk about how awesome he is in us as the power. Nobody don't want to hear it though. That's where we at today. That's what's really going on today. To where I myself would have thought that surely, he's going to come and help people to understand this, help them. No. Mm-mm. He's going to give you what he's giving you of his, and he's going to stand back as he have in time past, even to the very beginning. He didn't go and interfere with those people with Noah. He didn't interfere with the giants. He didn't interfere with nobody. He let everybody do what they're going to do. He said in the days of Noah, he said every imagination and thought was wicked and evil. And I stand as a prophetess in the wilderness says the same thing today. But it has no weight. It didn't have weight then. And it has no weight now. But yet, as I was speaking earlier, why would I stand here and deny it? When there was some warning telling you what it was like in the days of Noah, every imagination was wicked and evil. Now I pull up today and I'm sitting here teaching and telling you that that's the way I see it from the wilderness and from the natural as well as the spirit. But it's like, it's not to be said today. It's going right back to where it wanted to say that so that we'll know where we stand today. And it'll help support us that's walking in the light, that is speaking spirit and truth. It'll let us know, see, it was like that back in this day. Are you going to hear the preachers preaching it? No. You going to hear the priests? No, they're not going to preach it. You going to hear the apostles? No. You going to hear the pastors? No. The evangelists? No. The prophets? No. The Maureen? No. The prophetess? No. The watchmen? No. The seers? No. The ministers? No. So for sure, I, Sister Deborah, a prophetess in the wilderness, can stand here in the year 2026 and tell you a bald-faced lie if you say that they are teaching it and preaching it in these places of worship and on these devil platforms. I'm going to tell you a bald-faced lie. And it's okay for you to lie because there's a Father for those who believe the lie and teaches and believe and look at toward lies. Someone would get on and they say, but my pastor teach this, my pastor, because they want to give so much glory to the pastor. They never gave that type of glory to the Father, and nor will they, because it's what's on the earth that everybody is really embedded in, and not so much as what is really on the earth. So I say unto you today, this message is really speaking, what would you say that's going on today? What would you say that's actually going on today? And what is going on is a lot of things that's taking place, but you don't have the voice to stress or to put out or to speak regarding it. And that's also lead me back to the narrow gate and why it must and it need be narrow, because people today, they don't want to hear about the power of the Most High Yah. They don't want to hear about his glory, his holiness, his anointing, his excellence, him being perfect, all knowing, those sort of things. This earth is not wanting to hear. They want to hear the chaos, the murdering, the stabbing, the stealing, the pedophiles, the gay, the homosexual, all of that. That's what the world delights in. To where if I say to you, what would you say that's going on today? You're not going to get any spiritual minded people to really step in and say, because they don't know. They have no idea what's going on today because they measure things today based on the world. They don't see that before the world was, things were spiritual. Everything on the earth that was, and that is, and that shall be, was once spiritual in the kingdom. That's how he wrote everything down, y'all, for eternal. You think everything got, even to the point where I was just shocked that it says that the earth, the grave, which people are buried, that too is going to be tossed in the lake of fire. And I'm like saying, go, Father, go, Father. Yeah, go, Father. Because it's almost letting you know, I'm not leaving nothing unturned. I'm coming with that power, Deborah. When I came to create everything, I created it with my power. That right hand and that stretched out arm. When I end it, I'm going to end it with that power. Someone spoke to me, a male told me today, that same power that created everything, just imagine what it's going to look like when he destroyed everything. And then he said, Babylon is coming down right before all nations. And they're going to hurt because now they're not going to have that merchant and where they have, and a lot of y'all might not know that. You remember this here is United Snakes is the synagogue of Satan. I have preached that. I have taught that. And it ain't for everybody to know that. That's why they're not threatened by it. That's why people don't listen. Because the words in which I speak it, the power of he that lives in me, that gives me these things, is greater than anything you will ever see on the face of the earth. So if he's sending someone to tell you all, and it's so to the point where you would think a 5-year-old would get it, really seriously, but yet you wonder why no one grip it and say, wow, I never thought of that. But they say they believe in the book that they say is the word, but yet they can't comprehend the book at all. Because their own study guide, which is the book, which is the Bible, it speaks to them similar to the fact that, okay, Revelation 3, I know where he resides. So if I know where you reside, that means I know where you stay. I know where you live. You get it? So if it's telling you, he knows, the Father knows where Satan resides. That tell you Satan is somewhere. Let me show the ignorance of the world, the ignorance of this world. They will say, yeah, he all over the world, he everywhere. But no. You giving him too much power. You giving him too much glory. You're giving Satan too much honor. And Satan didn't ask you to give him nothing. So why give it to him? That's what I don't understand. Satan ain't asking nobody for nothing, but people are pouring out what is in them. Why? I'm going to tell y'all what y'all didn't know. It is not Satan's fault because you lie, you kill, you steal, you deceitful, you prideful, you high-minded, you hateful. It is not. Don't forget when the Father sent you down here, he sent you down here already made. So see, Satan can't make you. Satan can't break you. Satan can add on to you in your wicked and evil, but what you don't understand, you are already ordained to be what you are when you get down here. So when you get to running your mouth and you're sitting around going to Dumb City 24/24, it doesn't make sense for you to not to understand that heaven have everything written. That means if you come down here born of the flesh, you come down here to walk in darkness, you come down here as the serpent seed. Do you know what that means? That don't mean because Satan birthed you. It says that your spirit come down here to walk behind Satan. Now, if Satan wasn't down here, then your spirit can't walk behind him. You see? But Satan is down here. He told Satan in Genesis 3:15, your seed and her seed. Her seed represents the spiritual seed of Yah. But see, they want to connect that to the Messiah. No. The hill represents steps that the Father has ordered. Satan gonna always be after the spiritual seed, which is the woman's seed. The spiritual ones, they're steps that Yah has ordered. But here it's so many people thinking where they at is because of Satan. Satan's sitting here telling y'all that, look, y'all following me and I didn't even ask you to. You serving me and I didn't even ask you to. You know why? Because if you didn't come down to be born of the Spirit, then your only choice that you're born to come down to walk behind is Satan. So you come down as a servant to serve Satan, a serpent seed. You see? So what happens? Here it is. The Father has orchestrated everything. And then he says to y'all, from the book that you study, the book that you say is the word, it is in there too many times telling you that by your name is your works. That means the way you conduct yourself down here. It's going to follow you everywhere you go. Why? It was born in you before you got down here. See, he can't write. No, he can. He can do all things. He informed the whole world. Whether the whole world accept it or not, it don't mean a rat's behind if you do or if you don't. It don't matter. It's over. It's finished. It's a done deal. That's what Yeshua was telling Satan. It is over and all is written. Why would he have two books, one leading one place and another one leading another place? Why? If when you get down here, he don't know which way you go. Or he has to judge you later on to tell which direction. No, it is already written, y'all. That is so powerful because what does it do for you? It lets you line up with the type of power our Father, the Creator, has. To where he can orchestrate the beginning to the end and watch it unfold. And not one thing going to be out of order. It's going to go according to the way he began it to the very end of the way he ended. It ain't you and me ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it. It ain't you couldn't even if you tried. So when he's telling us in Revelation that Satan has a seat, that book can't tell you the truth of all. But when the Ruach come telling you, okay, it says that I know where Satan resides. Right then, I said, go, Father, go, Father, go, Father, go, Father. He's telling you Satan got a set place. Then he telling you that these ooze they worship the synagogue of Satan. Where's the synagogue? It's where Satan resides. So now, scholars and dumb and all these so-called administrative position that's of the flesh, because they're not administrative position of the spirit, because if they was administrative position of the spirit, they would have know what I know and what I'm saying. And he's telling them that, okay, here it is. Satan has a place of residence. He's trying to let you know that, wait a minute, Satan's seat is somewhere. He calls Satan's place where Satan is a place of residence. And then he said, and I know where his seat. So what does that tell you? He even got a place where he sit. So he has a residence. He has a place where he sit. Then he has those who what? worship the synagogue of Satan. That's how I learned that all these years I thought the synagogue was over in Israel. No, the synagogue is where he first going to destroy Satan's kingdom, right in Babylon. That's why you hear Babylon have all the other countries have been partaker in her. See, nobody's not listening because you don't have the Ruach. And then when he sent his servant to give it to you, you still can't hear it because your heart is blocked. And the Father blocked it to where you will never, ever, ever get spirit and truth. You won't be able to maintain any type of light, not even a pin needle, because he has to be greater in you. He has to be that teacher he promised he would be, and he would teach you all things. And this is where I get my understanding, my teaching, my wisdom, my knowledge, my power, my prophesying, seeing. This is all I get. Oh, my comforter. I get all the full meal deal from the Ruach. So I'm listening and saying, even after I had spoke it, probably only 3 or 4 times, and I taught it, showing them in their own book to give them a head up that, okay, the synagogue of Satan is his residence. I always wonder, you coming for Babylon, and I knew when I was a teenager, like 16, 15 and 16, that Babylon, I knew it was as the United Snakes. I knew it was the crutch for Israel. But the synagogue, see, everybody don't like Israel. Everybody don't buy from Israel. Everybody don't take from Israel. Everybody don't get wealthy from Israel. Everybody gives Israel because they are the worshipers of Satan. They worship him. But what do they worship him at? Here in the United Snakes of America. That's why we that are full of the Holy Spirit should know by now why there is a place in Revelation that's coming down, because it has been something to all the world that has to do with greed. See, a lot of y'all don't understand that. That's why I be so high and mighty on greed. Those that's greed, those that have that spirit of greed. Because guess what, y'all? You can't even escape it. If you got the heart of greed, you cannot escape it. That's why the two masters is Yah, the awesome, the main, the only one. But he said there's another master for the greed, and that's Mammon. Mammon. Whenever you see those two being being something that flesh, how would I say it? That flesh chooses. See, he sat and he told y'all there's only 2 things, Deborah, that they make their God. He never called Satan, y'all. You see how we didn't lie? He never said and wanted us to think that you're going to use Satan as your God. He said you can't have 2 masters. Why didn't he say you either serve Yah or Satan? Why? Anybody in the live chat? You can't even tell me why, because you don't know. So it's time to really listen. I'm like saying, okay, wait a minute, hold up. You're talking about greed. Is that heavy? Till it becomes a God to people? Yes. Wealth become a God to people. They make it they all in all. It controls their thought pattern. It controls their emotions, their feelings, the way they want to live, the way they want to kill. You think all these people that has billionaires, they the greatest murderers on the face of the earth. Did y'all not know that? They're at the level today. Well, all they want is power to destroy you. While we sitting here saying, oh, the billionaires, the elites and all of them, baby, they beyond it. Because the world have served them in that area. So when you get to Revelation 18, where you see that there's some land, there's a place that's going to be destroyed, and it never dawned on you. Why this place? Because it's the synagogue. It's the place where Satan resides. And then it tells you in Revelation, his seat is there. He sits. His seat is here. So all this stuff about the harlot, you can't get one male that been teaching and preaching for years and years. They will. See, I said to the father, I told him, wait a minute. Why is they hooking that harlot? That purple and that harlot. Why are they hooking that as a female? I have issues, y'all. I've always had issues. When I go to that wilderness, I not have one hand saying, but Father, I have two. But Father, but this. I be all over the place. And at now time, having not responded. That's the beauty of it. Not now time. Because as I used to ask him, I say, woman don't even have no power. She don't even have no authority. They robbed her of your position you gave her in the beginning, having dominion. And the only way they could take her dominion, they had to make like she did something Yah told her not to do when she wasn't even created when he told Adam. That shows you the cuckoo clocks of the people on this earth. They sat back and it's so clearly seen, but yet they still can't see it. Why? Too much darkness in them. So listen to this. So when you get to Revelation and you hear them talking about the harlot and the scarf, the purple, the what is it? She sits on many whatever they were saying. I know I need to get it. Let me go there. Let me just go on and take you there. Let me just go on all the way. Go on, Deborah. Go on, take them there. Because they finna learn something tonight, baby. Take them, go on, take them there. Okay, here we go. Revelation chapter 17. In Revelation chapter 17 and verse 4, one thing you don't understand is telling you the woman. Father, shall I go all the way? Go all the way. Okay, here we go. Revelation chapter 17 and verse 4, it says, the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colored and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls and having a golden cup in her hand full of abomination and filthiness and fornication. My question to the father was, hold up, I got some issues with that, Father. You know why? I can tell him I got some issue with it because this is not the word. This is a book. So I can say, Father, I see something wrong. He said, he is. You see? You want me to tell you what I see right now? I see it's a her. Okay? So this has to be a transvestite because man ain't gave woman the authority to do anything. They stole her identity as having dominion way back in the beginning and dropped the ball there, and it ain't never been picked up. So how's she going to pull up in Revelation and now be over everything? It's not a woman. Did you see how they manipulated 99.20 trillion women to believe that Eve had sinned in the garden? The Roman Catholics did an excellent job on revamping, smearing, adding, and taking away from a book that they used to manipulate you to the utmost. Where you can see it is right here in Revelation chapter 17. Now, a woman gonna pull up and be all that and some. It ain't a woman, it's a man. It's a transvestite claiming to be a woman. And how they have manipulated women all these years is just as easy as they got in Revelation. Her dressed in scarlet colors, precious stones, and gold, a woman arrayed. See how they've been messing with y'all mind? Ever since the beginning, they screwed y'all head. And y'all have the audacity to get on here and try to listen to Deborah and think you know something. You don't know nothing. Because if you knew something, you would have known that. Listen to what I'm saying. Revelation chapter 17, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colors and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness of her fornication. Now we know that it's not a woman. You know it's not. But they give you that impression of a feminine entity. We know that that's not what that is. Only one rule all these countries are men. So why would they put that in there like a woman ruling all these countries? Let's go on. Verse 5. And her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth. Oh, do you know a lot of them be preaching that? Always you hear them saying a harlot, Jezebel. They always talking about her in Revelation chapter 17, showing you. But guess who it was, y'all? It's a male. Just how they stole her identity way back in Genesis, they did it again here. They use her. Let's see it. Revelation chapter 17, verse 4. The woman, that's represent her. Even when it's saying scarlet colors, those are kind of decked with gold. That sound like a woman, something a woman would have. Watch this, is gold and precious stones and pearls. That sound like a woman. Watch this here. Having a golden cup in her hand, full of abomination and filthiness, and her fornication. And listen to this. And verse 5, upon her forehead was written, Babylon, the great mother of harlots, the abomination of the earth. Let's go to 6. And I saw a woman drunken with the blood of the saints. A woman drunken with the blood of the saints. We know that this is not a woman, but it is the ways of men. They had to put her there so you'll never see them. Just as they did in Genesis. They had to put her in the garden to say she entertained the serpent so you wouldn't see him. You would never, ever in your life get it without the Ruach HaKodesh. You can hang it up and you can hang it down because you will never get it without the Holy Spirit giving it to your spirit out of his spirit. See, it's always his will. So even when you hear that in verse 6, I saw a woman drunken with the blood of the saints. Now, you know women ain't messing with the saints. But I'm just showing you, just as they did in Genesis, in the beginning, in the very, very beginning, look what they done to the end. They put a female entity to be the one that's ruling in Revelation 17. And she's sitting, she's mysteries and a mother of abomination, a mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. A woman, effeminate, ain't never been anything on this earth but under the feet of a man. Is it out of order? Always been since Genesis, when he gave the dominion to him and her. And he decided to steal her identity. And then that's why when you hear about in Genesis again, and you hear in Genesis, you hear about Solomon and Gomorrah. And what do it tell you about? It don't say the women practicing homosexual, or it tells you the men, young and old, male. You see? This is how far, that's how easy it was for them to steal a woman's identity. To where they betrayed to be female, messing with males, male again, toward males. It started way back in Genesis, y'all. That's why I said you stupid if you think it started today. Today is a product of yesterday that every last one of y'all low down, no good suckers dropped in the beginning and got away with it and have the audacity to be standing on this nationwide world of TV and internet teaching and preaching the mass. They teaching it and preaching. And all they teaching and preaching is lies for themselves. This is the reason why Satan is not going to have to stand beside us come judgment. Because Yah is judging our spirit that he sent down here, that he knew about, that he wrote it in. He wrote your name in. He wrote your works and told you to get your tail down here. So the way you're going to come back is the way you came down here. You see? And it is already written. So he ain't going to hear your mouth. Because you ain't talking about nothing. Because that same evil spirit that came down is the same evil spirit going to go back. Saying that same old trash. Same old trash. That's why he got you written. To get up out of here. Don't come my way. And that's why he got Yeshua doing the separation. Don't bring them to my throne. They better not come to my throne. They better not come to my throne. You better separate them where they at. You can separate them at your throne, but don't bring them to my throne. Only bring the righteous ones. Because this place was prepared for them. My throne was prepared for them. Don't you bring them goats. They better not go to my, you deal with them. Send them where they supposed to go. See, that's why I tell y'all messed up when you're thinking that you're going to have your way. Or I'm going to cross that bridge when I get to it. Good luck. Because you're going to cross many bridges before you even leave off this earth. Because that's what day we're in. It's time for you to cross some bridges. I just feel sad for you because you ain't going to never make it to the other side of that bridge you trying to cross right here and now. And that's crossing people out in any shape, form, and fashion. And you already have the spirit to not even listen to nothing Yah is saying. So you crossed out anyway. You're just too ignorant to know it. So even here in Revelation, it's a carbon copy of Genesis chapter where they put woman as the one that was entertaining the serpent. She couldn't say nothing. The lie was sitting right there before y'all. She said something that Yah didn't say as they wrote it. Yah didn't say to Adam. So right then, as a young little teenager girl, I pointed that and I said, but I got a question. Why is she saying something you didn't say to Adam? None of them would get it, y'all. That right there shows you how the Roman Catholic and the Jesuits has switched this book. Has turned this book inside out, outside in. And they got the mass, the multitude following their lie. And the father of lies is he that these seeds are running around here fulfilling his joy by being the liars. If Satan got us doing things or causing us to do things, look like he would be held accountable. Yah didn't tell you he holding Satan accountable for what he get us to do that ain't right. What he get us to do to go up against our creator. What he get us to do to mess our living up, mess our spirit man up, to mess our flesh up. Y'all ain't judging Satan on that. He judging you on you. That's what y'all didn't understand. You didn't come down here based on Satan. So therefore, all this hooping and hollering, Satan did this, Satan did this, Satan did this, Satan did this. Guess what? You your own worst enemy, what I understand. It never told you Satan was your worst enemy. It told you was. And as this sister keep teaching you, telling you, seek ye self. Learn about yourself. Forgive yourself. Straighten up yourself. No. Somebody done this to us. They the fault of this and they the fault of this. Everybody the problem of whatever's going on with you. Know that your destiny is dark. 100%. If everybody is the issue of the issues you have suffered, that means your issue ain't going nowhere and ain't nobody going to be responsible for your issue. Heaven's going to judge you already, have it next to you, your name. He even told you next to your name is your works. So you running around here down here thinking you can clown down here and your work's going to be sitting up there like you did something really good down here. No, it ain't. See how y'all try to make him lie? You can't make him the lie. You're going to live the lie, die the lie, and look stupid in the lie in the long run. Because you ain't going to get nowhere with that. Okay? So when you look at Revelation chapter 17, all it's about her. What? There go the Roman Catholic doing it again. The Jesuits, the fake oots, all of them get together and they got books. And this is the topic of this message. It was where is my paper? Here it is. What would you say that's going on? And that is more and more people are added on to. This is me. I want to hear yours too. I think there is more and more people being added on to the list called darkness. It's definitely a man. You can't. It's a transvestite, or it's a gay man dressed in those things. You can tell. You remember in Louisiana, what's that? Gay pride and all that mess. That's you're looking dead at it. But they ain't gonna let you know that that's a part of wicked and that's a male. If anything, when they begin to preach and teach this here, and they always teaching it and they always call themselves preaching it, but they've been preaching it as a lie because they are a part of the Roman Catholic and the Jesuits' lies to the people. Okay? And it's getting so dark out here to the point where you're going to be the only one standing over in the corner by yourself because more people are being added on to the darkness. So my question was to you, what would you say that's going on? I, as a prophetess in the wilderness, knowing the natural and the spirit, and it's what I see is darkness is being added on. Okay. In the way direction they're supposed to go. And they're doing it with a smile on their face. Let me add that. They're doing it with a smile. And they're doing it being pleasured. They're doing it being content. They're doing it with pride. They're doing it with ego. They're doing it with self-centered. They're doing it with greed. You see? Y'all never did say, and I asked y'all even when I gave this lesson, this lesson, I taught it probably more than 6 times. Why is it said you can't serve 2 masters? You either serve one or the other. And it was confusing to me to think that the 2 masters, it didn't tell you Satan. It didn't tell you Satan. Because the world got you believing that money and wealth and materialistic thing, wealth, mammon is not what you think it is. It is. It's so much darkness behind it. To people called it good. Why would you say that, Deborah? Because this is why, going back to their study guide, even if you just look in it and take it on the spiritual side, it's actually telling you that there are 2 masters. Master over what? How in the rats behind can a master outweigh my most high? He said you either serve Yah, that's my most high, or mammon. You mean mammon has made people that sick. Yes, it has. I've been on this YouTube 7 years. I can tell you 100%. 100%. 100 times 1,000,000,000,000%. That's how the elites and the billionaires and the ones that rules the country with all this wicked and evil and this abomination, that's how they did it with mammon. So we would think that it's only for the billionaires, the elites, the ones around the four corners. No, 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 no. In Revelation 18, when he bring down that country, he's talking about everybody who did and took of this country and got wealth, got materialistic thing through mammon. Y'all just don't get it. Why is it that this little old lady can come out and explain why is there two masters? And who claimed that there's two masters? And who said you can't serve two masters? Something is saying you can't serve two masters. You either serve one or the other. Who's given that authority? Who's given that power to choose one or the other? Who do that? Who is do that? Because he was warning us that mammon will be our God. And we will serve it as a master. I sat and watched it, you guys. Even to today, I'm watching it. So who put something like that to be a master? Hold up, Father, y'all. I got some issue with that. How is it mammon can override you, Father, as a creator? Wait a minute, Father, wait a minute. How is it mammon is looked at as a master? You, Father, I can see. I can see you. I can only see you. But what's this thing about mammon? It's a sickness, y'all. It's worse than Satan. Because as I see Satan dealing with Job and Satan dealing with any situation, I don't see Satan like I see the men today on this earth. I don't see Satan like unto these billionaires. That's pedophiles. If you could see the things that they're doing underground, breeding stem cells, newborn babies, taking their blood, drinking it, getting strength, all of these things that they're doing. The easiest way out of that is to say, oh, that's Satan. But when you got the Ruach in you, the Ruach said he will come and he will teach you all things. You know why y'all don't know all things? Because you've been taught by flesh. And that's the only thing you can embrace. And you're serving mammon, another God. Why didn't they teach that in the church? Why wasn't that taught? That the ideal of two masters on the earth. Me, myself, my question was to the Father, two masters, I'm looking at the Father and his son Satan to deceive the whole world. So I said, Satan. That's what I would say. But you see, in their own book that they call the Word, study it to show yourself. Now, how can they justify it? They can't. Why? Now, one of y'all could answer. You won't tell you why you can't answer? Because you don't know. Satan don't need your money. He can't spend it. Satan is a spirit. So mammon cannot be the power punch of Satan. It's the power punch of the flesh of man. It's the power punch of the flesh of man. And it's a full denial that they are not greedy, self-centered, self-motivated, and what comes with it, because I'm telling y'all, pride. I'm better than everybody else. I don't have to do nothing. Nobody tell me what to do. But see what y'all do? Y'all don't deal with people like that. Because he said, I'll break you and make you all over. And when they cannot be broke, let them go. Go on in your alley. Go on somewhere and sit down. Because somewhere you got to find that solid ground. And I'm sitting here telling y'all something, and it is the Ruach is sitting here, soothing me in a way that really feels good. Because I'm talking stuff that I wasn't even supposed to be talking about. So I know it ain't me talking. I know it's the Ruach giving me the words to say. Because when you think of it like that, that's what you call spirit and truth speaking. That's what you call the light. So I'm sitting here saying, well, see, that's why a lot of them don't understand that the reason why he has already have your name. He just says your name gonna be written next to Satan. You're gonna go with Satan gonna go for eternal. But he didn't say your name was written next to Satan. Let me give you another one. He didn't say, okay, I got a Lamb book of life and I got a book that says the book to Satan, the lake of fire. See, he didn't tell us that. Our own nasty flesh, which is our own worst enemy. What's wrong with that? He didn't say Satan was your worst enemy. You see the evil that we as human beings could be? Because if we needed help from Satan and demons and wicked and evil, guess what? Then therefore he would drop us all as ones that follow Satan. So all of y'all going with Satan. No, he's not doing that. He's dropping us as an individual. He's measuring us as a individual, y'all. Because he knew he sent us down here already made. We were handmade. What do you mean, Deborah? Your beginning before you was in your mother's womb to your eternal destiny forever was already made in you. That's why Satan didn't have a part in it. You think he can go up to the kingdom and tell the Father, okay, when this one here is mine, you might as well let him go where I'm going. Yeah, come on here. Come go with me. No. Every step of the way from the beginning to the end, he have led us to see it all. And because we didn't want no part with him and we didn't want to see him in it, we kicked him to the curb and we began to see it the way man wanted to teach us. And the way man wanted to teach us is at the level of the same ones, the pedophiles, the elites, those who rule the world, these billionaires, these ones who put Donald Trump in, take Donald Trump out, can take a whole plane down and nobody ever asks, where is it at? Can clone, can build a whole world underneath the earth, 20 miles under. So would you think that Yah gave that power to Satan to build them things? No, he gave it to man. Because y'all still thinking you're bent. You thinking it's Satan doing all this. No. Satan can't do it. His mission was to deceive the whole world. To kill, steal, and destroy, he don't have that ability. But man does. Flesh does. See how messed up y'all are? So when you get up in here in Revelation chapter 17 and they telling you about a woman, that's the same old trickery that they did back in Genesis, saying that the serpent enticed her. She lay down with the serpent. You should hear all this whole sick mess they talking about. They had to take her identity. They stole her identity. That's why in the very same book of Genesis, you hear about homosexuals. Lot, Solomon, Gomorrah. You go, once everything was established, it came right back again in the book of Judge. Benjamin. They were doing it in their country, which is another one of the tribes. Here it is today, booming, as always. Today is not today, y'all. Today is a product of yesterday that was hidden. He said that which is in the dark should come to the light in the last days, and that's what you see in today. So when I ask you a question, what would you say that's going on? These are the things I'm sharing with you that's going on. The Creator then told you that the betrayer, I'm not the betrayer, the deceiver has a place of residence. And then he tells you he even have a seat. And then he tells you that, okay, the synagogue of Satan, they that worship him, they worship the synagogue of Satan. So the synagogue is a place that they worship Satan. And that's here in the United States, y'all. That's why it has to come down. He has to destroy Satan's territory. Want me to tell you why that's true? After he has destroyed Satan's territory, which is his resident and his seat, guess what happened? He destroyed the false prophet. And then he chained Satan down to the uttermost darkness. You see that? You see how he did that? Right after he destroyed Babylon. Because y'all are too ignorant to know that Babylon is the synagogue of Satan. And so just imagine all this mess you following, everything you invested in, everything you think you got, trying to live your life on the land of the synagogue of Satan. And their book is telling them he's going to destroy the land, and everybody's standing around trying to build up their territory on it. And let me tell you something. And the smart ones are those smart ones that's smarter than Satan. How are they smarter than Satan? Because they done moved all their wealth, all their belonging over to another country. Because they know he's going to destroy this. You just too stupid to know it. Anybody that think that they are full of the Ruach and they are marked with the seal, whether you live or die, know that you got either eternal life or you're going to make it to Mount Zion. But if you got a mind that's pride, greedy, and thinking that you're going to build your territory on this land, that contradicts what you portray to be in Yah. Because Yah didn't ask you that. He didn't tell you that. He's actually saying, seek ye the kingdom first. And I would add everything you need in this end day in the order until I get you. But what do? No, I want to land my feet here and get established and have my T's crossed, my I's, and that make you a part of why he's going to destroy this land. All you have to do is read Revelation 18. He tells you how everybody gained while in this land. They wouldn't have never thought that this land would go down. You know what that tells me? The small people all over the world have no idea Babylon coming down. Only the billionaires. They the only one have prepared for it. Where they going to be? The man told me today. He said, isn't that, and he just came out of nowhere. He said, hey, Deborah, isn't that deep how they going to go? But he going to destroy this land, but they going to make it out. I said, yep. Because there's people in this country, and including you, too dumb, too stupid, too ignorant to see what's going on in the spirit realm. So the Father said, leave him alone, Deborah. Let him see what's in the dark realm. And that's how you're going to leave out of here. Seeing only the ways of the darkness and never seeing that marvelous light that he set before you. It's because you have prepared everything for that darkness to the point you think that you got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. There is so many people that in this country that bought gold and silver, crypto, buying, what is it, real estate, buying land, just buying, just getting and signing it off. I know I'm covered. Be careful. No, you can't be careful. Y'all sees it all. Because if he's telling you what he's going to do, and you said, so what? I'm going to make sure I got my foot planted here. I got what I need. That's telling him you ain't who you say you are. So you think. We live in today as if, as if it's your last. So just trying to live as if it's your last, just imagine all those people that's on the streets are homeless. Look how they living as if it's their last. But there's people who living as if they got their T's crossed and their I's dotted. They ain't worried about nothing because everything getting taken care of on my end. That's good because it tells the story of the true heart of who you are. It tells the whole story of who you are. It's that serving that mammon, because that mammon got you so fixed, so together that you beyond your daily bread. You beyond your daily bread and you content. People, it's easy to serve a creator when you have it all. See what it's like not having nothing. See if you'll serve him then. That's how Yah is going to measure us. That's how he's going to measure us, whether you believe it or not. Because listen to this. There was a goat and there was a sheep. Father, we going there? Come on, let's go. There was a goat and there was a sheep. The goats were on the left and the sheep was on the right. Everything Yeshua said to them had to do with give and gave, right? Why, when he go over here to the goats, they was measured by one thing, and that was give and gave. When you done it unto the least of them, you have done it unto them. You mean the level of heaven and hell is going to be measured by that? Yes, it is. Why? It's the same as Yah or Mammon. Same thing. You chose Mammon. So this is why people don't understand when Sister Deborah be chewing you out. Listen to this. My oldest daughter and I had a long talk. And when I said something to her, I knew that it was the Spirit saying it out of me because it was long overdue. I say, how is it that we had 6 kids and I had a husband and I was a wife? How did we make it on $10 an hour? I said, because y'all were too ignorant to see God in our lives. See into it that your mama wasn't lacking nothing. That was that daily bread I keep telling y'all about. It was the Father himself knowing how to make sure. I don't care if you got 6 kids. I sent you there. I sent you to Georgia. I cried, and I cried. Told the Father, you did it to me. You sent me here with these babies. Hey, when it was all said and done, y'all made sure their school, they wasn't lacking nothing. So I brought that back up to her. I said, you had 1 child. Think of me. Somebody had to be there. And I explained to her, I said, okay, before I even married y'all, I had the best, best pay, best health care, best dental. I had it all, y'all. All my living coming up. My sister, Nim, she retired at the post office. She was trying to figure out, how did you get into the post office? Sister girl can nail anything that he is greater in me to defeat me, to be able to defeat anything that come to me. He will nail it for me. When I went out to work for Chrysler, same thing. Her husband, my oldest sister's husband, worked for Chrysler for 30 years, trying to figure out how you get in here. Any place I land my feet, Y'all see to it. Do he give me way and above? Nowhere near it. It's strictly daily bread, but it's the form of the need only. Nothing over, nothing anything. So when I think and I tell y'all about Mammon and Yah, I couldn't even imagine who would put that in there. I said, Father, they can't do that. They can't put you up against Mammon. Who did that? Stupid people. That's how I felt. I still feel that way. Who in the ranks behind chose to have, watch this here, a creator and Mammon standing there as masters? But it took the Ruach to bring that thing up in me and to land it down with the full understanding that the Father knew that what people had was going to be their God. Woo! That's their true God. And they walking around all over the world, and they can talk about the billionaires, the watch this here, the billionaires, the elites, the Illuminati, the pyramid, the all-seeing eye. They can talk all about them, and even not even know that they are the enemies of them. That's what they created in this world. To the point where when you go into Revelation telling you about all the other countries and everybody that partaker in her was like her. So that's why he's destroying it all and everybody else. See, you thought that why destroy the people? Because this is what the man was saying to me today. He said, but Deborah, they're going to escape. And they are, y'all. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. They out of here already. They getting out. The elites, those that are billionaires, they already got their money locked over in Sweden, and all over the place. Scotland, they ain't worried about nothing. Their job is, let me explain to you. Their job is to participate in bringing this down. You see? They're going to participate in bringing this country down so that they can get out. You see? They're going to participate, and they're doing an excellent job. I ain't gonna sit here and tell y'all no lie. They're doing an excellent job. They're bringing this country down quick in this country. The people in this country, too, one blind to see it. It's just like me standing here trying to tell somebody stop being so prideful and greedy. It's just like a waste of time. You can't, the people here is, I ain't talking about no nationality, all of them like that. You can't tell them nothing. And it's looking them right in their face. All of them taking all, Donald Trump can't even live to have the type of money that he got. What gonna do with it? That's all of them life is not for them to live as long as they want to, y'all. Why is it we don't get the power of the Father, knowing that he has the beginning and the end? He can take them out like he allowed them to stay in. He still rule it all. Even his will is partaker in this. But they're going to get to go out. And everybody who set their stuff up today, saying, Lord, Lord, oh, Father this, Father that, but at the same time trying to plant their solid ground here on this country, you're going to get caught up. Because that's mammon that you're serving. And that's why I sit back and you know what? And I'm going to be honest with you. When I think of Europeans, I say they don't even understand how much trouble they're in. They sit here applauding ICE regarding killing people and doing the things they're doing. They have no idea ICE is the Europeans in this country greatest enemy on the face of the earth. Oh, they have no idea. They are training more of them in all countries to come here. So when it's a civil war step out, they coming for you, white people. They coming for you. See, why you thought ICE was set there for every other nationality, they got you. They had to put them in there to manipulate you to believe that it's for somebody else. No, baby. I've heard the ISIS men saying it's many of them, they still being trained all over. But about before the pandemic, before COVID, they were talking about over in, I think it was China, where they were, no, yeah, it was China and, was it Russia? No, it's another European country where they were training millions of people for a time as this. So Europeans don't understand why you sitting here hooping and hollering, saying, yeah, let ISIS go in Chicago, let them do this. They coming for you, stupid. Nation against nation. They coming for you, Europeans. They thinking ICE is there for the play down. They even coming to destroy the police departments, y'all. If you knew what they are there for, it will blow your freaking mind. The spiritual side of what they are there for. They are there to make them think that they're trying to get all the immigrants and the people who don't belong. Baby, that ain't what they there for the Europeans, y'all. They are preparing themselves to fight the war in this country as a civil war amongst their own people. So when y'all sit back, y'all don't understand how the civil war is really going to take an effect. And it's going to take an effect when European people in this country realize that ICE is their biggest enemy and ICE there to destroy them. So the war is going to be, they're going to start to see it. They so ignorant, they don't understand. If other races are only a small amount and you are the majority, who in the rest behind do you think they really after? They're not threatened by melanated people, Oriental people, Mexicans. They are threatened by the Europeans, their own kind. So when you get into Matthew's chapter 24, I think it's verse 7, when it says nation against nation, that means people against people. What y'all don't understand, let me explain something. What y'all don't understand is when you're sitting and talking about the Illuminatis, the Masons and the ooze, the fake Jews, and the four corners power that rules the world, the billionaires, it's beyond that. They're not about, they got all the money that they can't even use. It's not about the money with them anymore. They left that for you all knuckleheads here in this country to play in. And that's where they go. That's why it's going to get you in the long run, because they're going to leave that game here for you to play in this country. Why? Because once they have brought this country to the debris, they're going to leave it here for you all to war in. There's not going to be no control. There's not going to be no one overseeing you. They're going to leave it all for you to be warring in. You're going to be warring. Nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom in this land. You ain't going to have no government, no nothing. ICE is going to be destroying. Robots going to be coming out. See, y'all didn't know that. That's the ignorance of Europeans in this country who thought that this country was theirs and not understand the type of blood was shed, the type of killing and stealing and taking that they were never entitled to. Their fathers weren't entitled to it. Their grandfathers, their great-great-grandfather, none of them was entitled to it. They have no idea the type of blood that was on their ancestors' hand that still reign today, and y'all bring it down. They have no idea. That's why when I hear these so-called and they doing a good job manipulating them about things that y'all is warning them about, these so-called prophetess telling these people did, like y'all is really warning them. No, he ain't. When we tell you why he don't need to warn them, it's because look at the elites, the billionaires. They already know the warning. They can send their money everywhere. They built a city underground, way in other far places away from this country. What did they do that for? Because they know what's about to go down. They know it's not just them. Power coming after power. And if you're here in this country, you better pray and seek ye the kingdom that you got the seal on your head. I just went to visit my mom today, and I took her some roses. I took her a dozen of roses. I got her a card, and I got her some candy, turtle candy. It was really pretty. I couldn't turn it away. And I went over there to see her today, and I just when I left, I said, Father, I just thank you for giving me that opportunity. Thank you so much, Father, for just allowing me to honor my mother, and just, because I know who's who and what's what. Okay. And him just giving me the opportunity, and I can't give myself the glory nor the praise. I can't give myself nothing because he told me to do it. Every time I've gone around my mother, it was Yah said, you need to go over there to your mother, and you need to see her. And she, that's what the Father had sent me, and I'm grateful. You know, I'm grateful, and even in the midst of it, I realized spirit and truth and the light is not for everybody. It's not created for everybody. And when I was giving y'all that video earlier today, that was where I was at, is realizing that, Deborah, you cannot think that I created everything for everybody. It's even they read it even in their study guide, letting them know that I am a narrow, I'm a few, I am a little here. I'm not everybody. I'm not seeing everybody like that. You see, because he know how he sent you down. Sister Deborah don't know you the level of what Yah know. Nowhere near you. He know what he sent down here, to a point you don't even know who you are. That's why I say it's nothing better on this earth than to be amongst spirit and truth and the light. Because at that level, you can cry out to him the things that you're learning, the things that you're coming to understand. Don't estimate it is him that feels that you need to know this. For what reason? He got a reason for you to know it. And it'll shock you, the purpose he have in you. But just imagine if Sister Deborah was not here. That's another sad thing. But when I think of it sad, I think about what he told me. He said, but Deborah, think about me. I created all of them. And they still, look how they do me. And that's what make when y'all start to tell me things like that, that makes everything okay. It's okay, Father. Because I'm like saying, all this stuff you're giving me, I'm giving them. And I know you said that you have given them the beginning to the end, everything in between, and they still ain't caught up with you, because when he created everything, he created it in his order, according to his will. Did you hear of the potter with the clay, one to honor and one to dishonor? You couldn't get nobody to preach that. You couldn't get nobody to teach that, because people don't want to hear stuff like that. That's to them, that's wrong. They want to hear the lie. They are content with the lie. They don't want to hear that the Father has that type of power in his hand to create the two. That right there alone lets you know he created something from the beginning to be two different directions. But they don't want to hear that. They want to live the lie that they've been living and telling you all. And they are content with it. And I'm at the point where no way, all of this cannot be on the shoulder of Satan. It can't. Him was to deceive the whole world. And all of those that followed him, they got on the bandwagon doing the work of evil and darkness on his behalf. And this is what I see. Because it's no way he would have put two masters as the Father, the Yahuwah and Mammon. Father, why would you do that if he did not know that the hearts of people would lean and wrap their heart up with mammon. He knew it all the time. That would be the greatest master to human race. And that's why I can say now, not today, but I'm saying throughout years, I get you, Father. Why the gate is narrow? Because if you had to say something that leads you to be here and materialistic things with wealth, money is here, but they're going to take this here and put it way above you and let that be their master. And anytime they want to say you, call your name and say you them and you this and you for them and they for you, they can say it because they already done got their mammon and living on it, sitting on it, eating on it. And they feel they can still call on this. He ain't going for it. You either one or the other. Did not it tell you? You can't serve two masters. There's a power punch in that. And one day, if he allow me and give me all of it to talk, I'll break that thing down. It's something wrong with that, y'all. It's something deeply wrong with it. Because it does. I can't see why nobody ever preached it. Why? That should have been something on the mountaintop. But y'all didn't care that they will serve mammon as their master. He didn't care. Why? Because heaven already had put down here the one that was born to follow his spirit. He had already sealed them. But they even got down here with the wrong mindset. And what did he do? He sent to redeem them back to him. Because they were already written, y'all. They got to make it back because they were already written. They had got lost. If you lose your keys and can't find it, the first thing everybody asks, who keys are they? Who do they belong to? You. So if Yeshua is coming for the lost must belong to somebody. And what makes this lost so important? Because they belong to eternal creator. I prepared a lamb slaughtered just for the redeemed to come to redeem them back. Look how beautiful he set it up. Before he even created anybody, he made sure he had a lamb that's going to come and redeem those that he already saw was going to get lost back to him. That's what you call power, y'all. That 99.9 don't want to hear, don't want to accept, don't want to believe because they are stuck right where they at in what they believe in and what they're willing to receive. They do not want to go outside of anything outside of that. So again, what would you say that's going on? All of that is going on. And no one sees none of it. I wanted to I want to talk about things. Yeah, that's true. I wanted to talk about things that's actually going on, but look, I don't need to. I've just brought to you all that revelation. That's really what's going on. I told you that wasn't what I wanted to talk about. But see how the Ruach says, you wait on him. He'll give you the words to say, even if he have to speak them out of you. You see, I went all that way just to be in the right way. And that's the will of the Father and what he wanted me to say. Because the more and more, as time go on, it's starting to get more and more easier. That's all I can say. It's starting to get more easier being able to just accept the fact of what he was saying to me even earlier. It's getting easier. It ain't getting harder. I'm going to tell you, it is. I'm going to tell you, and let me make sure I said it to y'all. It is not getting harder. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you why it was the Holy Spirit teaching, because he just connected Genesis 1 with woman with with Revelation chapter what? 17, 4, 5, 6, and 7. How they made it a feminine entity. when it was really a male all the time. Just like in Genesis, it wasn't Eve. The Roman Catholics and the Jesuits set it up that so you all can believe that a woman lost her identity. That's why these babies, right? Did y'all know the reason why these pedophiles go deeper than just little girls? I believe they started greatly with little boys. I really did. Why? Because it's the opposite of what y'all stand for. That's how evil is. It does the opposite of what y'all stand for. If y'all intend a female to be with a male and the male to be with a female, they wouldn't want to go that route first. They would want to counteract the way y'all created it. So that's why you get in Genesis and you hear about Solomon and Gomorrah, and it tells you it's men. That's why. They have been counteracting everything since Genesis 1 and moving it out of the order of the Creator. So he fully knew that they would take everything out of the order. That's why he was telling me, don't go trying to go back and get a ball. These people cannot, they don't even know what a ball is at. You can tell them it's sitting right here. They still wouldn't see it. They wouldn't know it. So it's really a gift to be able, the gift from Yah to be able to fully understand what is what and what was and what is and what shall be. There's another thing that I noticed that is going on is there is a different type of hate and a different type of darkness. And I notice it, and I'm watching it like a hawk. And I'm not watching it like a hawk as if I can protect myself or anyone. I'm just watching it because I'm really trying to understand the level of how Yah has allowed this sort of hate and darkness to be at this highest level. And it's not something I can just see natural. It's what I'm seeing spiritual. And that's where it gets really dark. Because if you see something and Yah allow you and he suffer you to see it spiritual, and you see it take a form in the natural, baby, let me tell you something. You in it alone. Without Yah, with Yah. But you in it alone. Because you can talk all day and all night. You can talk to where you can talk people's ears off their head. It ain't gonna help. It ain't gonna help. It's meant for you to embrace the ruach that's in you. That's your true teacher. This is where your peace gonna be. This is where your understanding gonna reside. This is where your spiritual wisdom, your spiritual knowledge reside. So you got to understand, you at a level where he wants you to be. And there is where you need to make sure you're in tune with. Because it ain't going to change the things you see and turn it extra dark. It ain't going to change the hate at a different level going down. It's going to still keep going. So no, get ready for everything you're seeing on both ends, whether it's the natural or the spiritual. Get ready. Okay. So, Sister Deborah, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I hope you got something out of it. Did anyone happen to have any questions? Any questions? Anybody? Mm-hmm. Yep, they're very numb to it. And I say to you all have a wonderful, I guess it's night, huh? Yeah. And I will be back. Shalom and shalom.